streets with pink, with unity, with strength, and with joy. In 2012, something powerful began in Rwanda. A simple step turned into a movement, a walk for hope, a walk for life, a walk we proudly named Ulinzi. Step by step, we raised our voices for women battling breast cancer, for mothers, sisters, and daughters, and the survivors who inspire us all. From that very first walk, thousands have joined. We've walked through city streets, through remote villages, through challenges, and yet we've kept going together. Unfortunately, the world paused for COVID-19, and the Marburg virus kept us inside last year. But even in silence, our mission, our care never did. Because Ulinzi is more than a walk. It's a promise to fight with love, to bring awareness, early detection, education, and hope to every corner of Rwanda. For women battling breast cancer, for mothers, sisters, and daughters, and the survivors who inspire us all. From that very first walk, thousands have joined. We've walked through city streets, through remote villages, through challenges, and yet we've kept going together. Unfortunately, the world paused for COVID-19, and the Marburg virus kept us inside last year. But even in silence, our mission, our care never did. Because Ulinzi is more than a walk. It's a promise to fight with love, to bring awareness, early detection, education,
Yes.
Walk again. We invite you, your family, your friends, your neighbors to join us. Walk with purpose. Walk in memory. Walk in hope. Step turned into a movement. A walk for hope. A walk for life. A walk we proudly named Ulinzi. Step by step, we raised our voices. For women battling breast cancer, for mothers, sisters, and daughters, and the survivors who inspire us all. From that very first walk, thousands have joined. We've walked through city streets, through remote villages, through challenges, and yet we've kept going together. Unfortunately, the world paused for COVID-19, and the Marburg virus kept us inside last year. But even in silence, our mission, our care never did. Because Ulinzi is more than a walk. It's a promise to fight with love, to bring awareness, early detection, education, and hope to every corner of Rwanda. This year, we walk again. We invite you, your family, your friends, your neighbors to join us. Walk with purpose. Walk in memory. Walk in hope. Together, let's fill the streets with pink, with unity, with strength, and with joy. Us inside last year, but even in silence, our mission, our care never did. Because Ulinzi is more than a walk. It's a promise to fight with love, to bring awareness, early detection, education, and hope to every corner of Rwanda. This year, we walk again. We invite you, your family, your friends, your neighbors to join us. Walk with purpose. Walk in memory. Walk in hope. Together, let's fill the streets with pink, with unity, with strength, and with joy. step we raised our voices. For women battling breast cancer, for mothers, sisters, and daughters, and the survivors who inspire us all. From that very first walk, thousands have joined. We've walked through city streets, through remote villages, through challenges, and yet we've kept going together. Unfortunately, the world paused for COVID-19, and the Marburg virus kept us inside last year. But even in silence, our mission, our care never did. Because Ulinzi is more than a walk. It's a promise to fight with love, to bring awareness, early detection, education, and hope to every corner of Rwanda. This year, we walk again. We invite you, your family, your friends, your neighbors to join us. Walk with purpose. Walk in memory. Walk in hope. Together, let's fill the streets with pink, with unity, with strength, and with joy.
Good morning, everyone, again. How's everyone doing? You all seem a little tired. Okay, we're now moving on to the next part of this event. And so to start us off with the second part, we are going to have the RBC representative come up here and talk to you guys. So can we give a round of applause to the RBC representative?
Good morning. Hello, good morning. So nice to be with you today. So my name is Vedasta Tejekimana, but I'm from Rwanda Biomedical Centre. So I'm representing the division manager of non-communicable diseases who want to be here. Unfortunately, he got other urgent task, and then we want to provide some. Thank you guys for being together today. And we would like to appreciate our thankful to different partners who have joined this initiative, which is a very wanted initiative now to try to help or to support our women and be cared on early as possible through community awareness. So different partners have joined this initiative, which I think we would even encourage most of you and different partners to make the same as this initiative so that we can raise awareness about breast cancer screening, because we found that breast cancer is the most common cancer that is now reported in Rwanda. That means we can miss or are missing or we have a big loss of women because of breast cancer, because most of these cancers are seen on late stage. At the late stage, that means if we encounter them at the late stage, we don't have a chance to cure them. So I want you to hear that we can't have any other way to get women screened early if we don't put together effort and conduct such initiative to raise community awareness. So I can see that most of the audience, they are youth, but I know if we want to go far and get more, we need to work with youth. So the message from RBC today is to encourage you youth to put much effort into sensitizing, calling your colleague, your mom, your sister, and come together and then do screening. In Rwanda, most of health centers and health facilities, they have a trained staff, and we have nurses, we have doctors who can do screening, who can do clinical breast examination, and we can even do breast ultrasound. So today, we have a big team there where we have been doing this sport. There is a big team from RBC, from other partners who are now doing screening of breast cancer. We are also doing clinical breast examination, and we are also doing breast ultrasound. So we need to detect breast cancer at the area as possible to be able to treat the cancer. So you need to know if we get women earlier, we are improving and we are increasing the chance to be cured from cancer. So we don't want to lose any women, even if it is not possible, but our effort, if we try to make such initiative, like Breast Cancer Initiative East Africa, and we come together, we increase the awareness, I think we will get where we need it to be. So yesterday, we have conducted a national breast cancer awareness, and we had good opportunity also to be with different partners from all over the country. And the key message there was also to try to raise awareness, because we can't prevent breast cancer. So we cannot prevent breast cancer, but we can catch it earlier. So since we have it earlier, we have the chance now to cure our women. So without delaying, I would like to express our gratitude and encourage everyone and thank everyone from your initiative, from your time to be here. But don't let what we hear here and then we leave it there. We leave it here. So we want now to keep this spirit, to work together, have an idea that if I get chance to encourage my sister, my mom, my neighbor, to come and get screened for breast cancer, I'm increasing the chance of a survivor. And again, if you know someone with breast symptom, please tell her that in a country we have all facilities to help the woman get screened, get treated, and get cured. Breast cancer can be cured when it is seen early. So I want to repeat it because the whole journey that Philippa is doing in this initiative and the others, we are working together to make sure that breast cancer is diagnosed as early as possible to be cured. So this awareness, it is one way and the best way now to get these women coming and be screened. So you are youth, you can go far where Philippa can't be, but if we work together with partners, with such initiative, we believe that we will decrease the number of women who are being diagnosed at the late stage. So I want again to end my speech. Thinking that together, if we celebrate together, if we come together, we try to be where the government and the Ministry of Health want to be. In partnership with Rwanda Biomedical Centre, I will express that Rwanda Biomedical Centre and the Ministry of Health will always stand for collaborating and working together with you and different partners to make sure that we are moving in a positive way and have the mortality rate being decreased. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's really important to have those early detection and make sure that and if anyone you know has breast cancer, gets the help they need immediately. I know a lot of people in the audience know someone or is related to someone who has cancer, whether be it breast cancer or any other kind of cancer. It's really important that they get the help they need. So thank you. Can we give him a round of applause again? Okay. So up next we have Dr. Odile, an OBGYN from ROSG representative. So can you help me in giving them a round of applause? Dr. Odile. Yes.
So, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Odile Mrekatete. I'm an obstetrician and a gynecologist. Also, I have a subspecialty in gynecologic oncology. So, I work at Rwanda Military and Referral Teaching Hospital. So, I'm happy to present for you the awareness of breast cancer. As you know all, breast cancer is the most common cancer in women in Rwanda and is the second leading mortality after cervical cancer. So we need all of us to be aware of the disease as he mentioned because the early detection, you receive early treatment and again you will have survivor than the one who consults later. And you have to know that by now, we have, we diagnose many patients in late stage. Some of them, we put them in a palliative care. So palliative care is mean like just counseling, some relief medication, but the survivor is low. So we need to be aware, all of us, on the disease. As you know, worldly, we celebrate the breast cancer awareness, and this is the theme for this year, the diversity of experiences and reinforce the need for compassionate, timely, and quality care for all. So let me start with the anatomy. Here we have the nipple. The nipple, it's like a raise on the middle of the breast, and it's on the near him there is like a black part which we call areola, and you know we have two breasts and they are all located in the anterior chest. So internally, it's surrounding with fat, the yellow part, and we have lobula and duct or cannula where breast milk came from. And here we have lobula where breast milk is produced. So as introduction, breast cancer is the most frequent type of non-cancer, non-skin cancer, and is the most frequent cause of cancer death in the female worldwide, and is the second most frequent cause of cancer death in United States female, and the majority of breast cancer in the USA are diagnosed as a result of an abnormal screening study. So although a significant number are first brought to attention by the patient, 50% of breast cancer they brought by women themselves. So the screening mammography, it reduces both the odds of dying for breast cancer and it facilitates the use of early treatment. So breast cancer mortality has dropped dramatically since 1980. And both early detection, as we say, toward screening and improvements in breast cancer treatment are responsible for this reduction in mortality. This is the key. So the recommendation for breast cancer screening is taking into account the risk of development breast cancer. So if you look on this image, you see this white tissue. This is the breast cancer. It's the most often location of the breast cancer. Like if you divide your breast in 4 parts, here in outer upper is the most location of breast cancer. So the diagnosis of breast cancer in early stage, we have to have an awareness of breast cancer, and also you have to know about screening of the breast cancer. So about the awareness, all of us have to know that it's a common disease for everybody. Nobody is immunized for the breast cancer. And also you have to be aware of symptoms of breast cancer, not ignore any sign. If you see, you have to consult without delay. And among most frequent symptoms, we have breast lump, especially when you have like above 35 and 40 years. And when you have painless lymph nodes, like here on this image, here in the axillary, you feel there is like a mass there. You have to consult. And when you have a change in the breast skin, you see on the second image, there is a discoloration. Again, they have the aspect of pod orange. If you know the orange, they have like some dots, dots, dots. When you realize that on your breast, you have to consult for medication. Also, when you have discharge from your nipple, mostly bloody, you have also to consult. So we need also to be aware of the risk factor which is associated with breast cancer. You have to know that women, they have higher risk than men. And also it increases with age and genetics. When you have it in your family, you are at risk than one who doesn't have the risk. And to be nulliparous, birth after age of 35, not breastfeeding or short period of time, smoking and alcohol. In smoke and alcohol, there is some substance which like change the DNA and cause people to get cancer. And obesity, because when you are obese, you have like high estrogen, and which will stimulate the breast, and you get a cancer. So I was like repeating cancer, cancer. I don't know if you know all of you what is cancer. Cancer is it's an abnormal growth of cell. So it's like, all of us, we have nail, we have hair. When you cut, it's growing, and even nail, when you cut, it's growing. All the cell in the body, they are enveloped. So when there is a change in the cell, it can grow abnormally or uncontrollably. So this is the cancer. So at that time, it can spread to other organs. This is what we call metastasis. So we need also to be aware of the protecting factor to getting cancer. Like breastfeeding is good, and the diet, and lose weight by feeding your plate with vegetables and whole grain, while limiting sugar, carbohydrates, and alcohol. So we need also to be aware on breast self-examination. It's not costly. You do it yourself, and you don't lose time to go to the hospital. You do it in your room, or you go in front of the mirror, and you self-look the change in your color, breast color, retraction of the nipple. Then after that, you start to palpate, to touch on the breast clockwise. You use the internal part, anterior part flat of your finger, and you try to palpate to see if there is no any mass. And you don't know any mass, if it's cancer or not. The important to you is to consult the doctor. So now we go to the breast screening. Screening is a tool WHO accepts a screening for any disease when you have a treatment. You can't say, I'm going to do screening for something without next. You can't tell me that I have a cancer and no treatment. So as the RBC report here, we have treatment. So now for the screening, it's like for those who has car, they go to the control just to verify if their car, their goods, without even any condition, just to avoid accident. So for the breast, what we do for the screening, we do clinical breast examination. Now is the time to the doctor to examine the woman and to see if there is some mass. He may found what the woman was not able to find herself. And also imaging. Among imaging, we have mammography, we have ultrasound, we have MRI. They are the tool which can use to detect a tissue or a tumor in our breast. And if they find something, they do what we call biopsy. They took a sample and they analyzed to see is it a cancer or not. So the risk determination. We have to know that the value of screening is to determine who is most likely to develop breast cancer and who will benefit on early treatment or not. So we have to determine who is the person at risk, and if you found that person, we have to know to give a recommendation of the modality and the frequency of screening. We have also to refer the patient to the genetician. And lastly, we have to see if you can give chemoprevention. It's a medication you can give for those who are at risk to prevent them to get cancer, or even you can do what we call prophylactic surgery. We remove all the breasts. So for the initial assessment, here we categorize patients on their risk. We have three categories. We have those who are in average risk. It's a category for most women. They don't have a major risk. We have moderate risk and high risk. So, and again, people has to know that the risk category are delineated according to the lifetime risk of diagnosis, not the risk time of dying. So you have to inform people that when we are doing screening, it's not they are going to die. Just is to know when, which time in the life they will encounter the disease. And if they have even the disease, we treat them early. So there is no consensus about the exact percentage of lifetime risk with each risk category, but generally, for those who have average risk, they have less than 15% to have breast cancer in their life. Moderate, 15 to 20% they will have it. And for the high risk, above 20% lifetime to develop breast cancer. So what are the major risks now to be in high risk? So personal history of breast cancer. For example, if you had breast cancer in one breast, you are at risk to maybe in your life to encounter another breast cancer in other contralateral. The family history of breast cancer, the ancestor in Acnasia Jewish, which have some mutation, genetic mutation, and when, for example, you were diagnosed with an atypical hyperplasia, it's like pre-malignant lesion, also you have to be attention. And also your age of menarche. For those who had like, menarche is a period, menstruation. For those who had it at 8, 9 years, they also have high risk to develop breast cancer. Or in late menopause, also they have risk. And again, for those who had any cancer and they underwent radiotherapy in their 10th and 30, also they have a risk to develop breast cancer. So we can have also other exogenous risk which may cause women to have risk of breast cancer, like exogenous estrogen. You know, when we are in menopause, we'll go to the gynecologist and they give us some medication. It may help for some condition, but if it takes for a long time and controllable, so also it can be a risk factor for breast cancer. So in the group of average risk, as we say, majority of female, they are in that group where you don't have major risk. And you have to know that age is important, is most important factor. If you are lower than 40, you have low risk when you don't have major risk. So, and if we need to do like screening on those women in average risk, those who doesn't have major risk, we explain to the patient the potential benefit and harm of mammography, and we consider their own value and preference after discussing of them, and we make a decision that is best for them. So for those who are in under 40, here there is no screening guideline recommend routine screening, but in average risk for those who doesn't have major risk factor. So in age 40 to 49, we can do, experts suggest mammography to start at 40 years. There is one organization in United States which suggests that biennial mammography screening, like 1 year in 2. If you do it today, you repeat it after 2 years. You repeat it after 2 years. And they say that after 40 years to do that a bit, it can reduce breast cancer mortality and it can increase life years gain. So, but the benefit of screening in the 40 to 49, and also we have to know that there is harm of the mammography. So mammography, we have to know that it's less sensitive in young than old. Like there is some study which show approximately 73% in early 40, compared with if you do it at 60, they found 85%. So there is a lot of guideline by experts, which their recommendation is varying about when to start mammography, which is even cause challenging in women, even in doctors. Like in United States, most experts, they suggest mammography screening to start at 40 years. But we have to know that in the US, they are the third common to develop breast cancer after India and China. That's why they opt maybe to start at 40 years. And in this organization, the second one, they recommend biennial screening in female at 40 and to stop to 74. But in the American Cancer Society, they recommend mammography screening at 45 to 55 years. And they give the reason for some who started their screening at 45 and 49, and the one 50 and 54, they have the same mortality. That's why they say maybe you can start at 45 up to 55. So, but for women who has 50 and 74, most of all major United States and international group, they agree to start mammography screening at that age. But remember, is in average group, those who doesn't have a major risk. So at up to 55 old, we suggest to offer screening only if we see that those women, they have a life expectancy up to 10 years. If you have someone with a lot of comorbidities, other cancers, no need to go and do a screening because it can't increase life because even treatment, they are not even able to tolerate treatment. So, but there is no clear upper age limit because we have even incidence of breast cancer even at 80, even though the life save is decreased. So there is no recommendation at what age breast cancer screening should stop. So this table is summarized all I was talking about for different organizations. If you look on the United States organization, they suggest biennial, but they say you have to start screening at 40 years. But if you look on the Canadian task force, they also suggest 2 years, but they are against to start at 40. So what are the screening modality? So you have to know that mammography is a primary modality for breast cancer screening in average risk, but also we have ultrasound and MRI as other modality. So here, what the role of clinical breast examination, the doctor examination of the breast screening. So in Western country, they not suggest to perform clinical breast examination unless you have like a breast complaints or abnormalities. But in a location where there is no imaging breast, there is no mammography, They suggest also to do clinical breast examination. But for the WHO, because it is trying to make a balance of all the country, so they suggest that clinical breast examination may be an appropriate screening approach to 50 to 69 in low resource. So if we jumped for the moderate risk, as we say, moderate risk is like when in your family there is a breast cancer, but you were not inherited with the gene. Like your mom was having breast cancer, and your sister also was inherited on the gene, but yourself, you don't have any gene. So there is the cancer in your family, but yourself, you are not having that gene. So also the recommendation is the same as in average risk. But some experts, they recommend to do some supplemental screening like mammography and as you are in moderate risk. So in high risk, those are people who has like the cancer in the family, or they were having a breast cancer in one breast. They underwent radiotherapy in the past. So for those, we have to know that they have to do breast self-examination monthly. Every month you have to examine your breast. That's one. Second, you have to do clinical breast examination twice a year. Again, you have to do yearly mammography and yearly MRI. And also you have to be seen by a genetician, and you have to consider breast surgery. So what are the benefits and the harm of the screening? For the benefits, the primary benefit of screening with mammography is decreased breast cancer mortality. And you have to know that it decreases approximately 20%. And the harm, it can overdiagnose and lead to unnecessary treatment, which is associated with other risks. Imagine when they told you that you have a cancer and you are treated on, and finally they found that you are not having it. And also false positive, false negative, you will be exposed for the radiation, and you feel anxiety because if they even give you that bad news, if you have cancer, you understand it causes you anxiety. You can even having depression, you can even die just for the information. So this is a staging. Staging is like a tool doctors use to nominate the location of the breast cancer, if it's still on the breast or if it's located elsewhere. Like for those who are stage 1, what we're saying, they have a chance for 100% to survive in 5 years. But when you are in stage 2, already it's decreasing. 90% they survive in 5 years. And for stage 3, only 70% they survive at 5 years. But in stage 4, you see, 20% only survive. So, and it requires multidisciplinary team to help the patient. So we have to raise the awareness, the self-breast examination since 20 years old with screening, which may help early detection. So for those who has breast cancer and maybe survivor for breast cancer, and maybe they consult in guide, they have to be aware that contraception, they don't need hormonotherapy for the contraception because it will increase the risk of recurrence to have a cancer in that breast or in contralateral breast. They can have menopause effects because they will be on some medication which will put them in menopause. They will have vaginal atrophy, so they will need vaginal lubricant and moisturizer just for intercourse. And they will need osteoporosis treatment because estrogen is important, to avoid the degeneration of bone. And also they can be pregnant. So before it was, they were against to conceive after breast cancer. They were seeking that it increase the risk of breast cancer. But now with your doctor, they can consider when to be pregnant or not. So as take-home message, we have to be aware of breast cancer. We have to screen at above 40 years. We have to know signs and consult and the biopsy if any lesion. We have to, when early detection and the compressive treatment can save life and can even save the breast. Because if they found early, they cannot remove even the breast. They can just remove where it's located. Thank you. Any question? Any addition? Yeah, in Rwanda, yeah, we have like 5 locations at Rwanda Military, at CHK, King Faisal, other private, Legacy, and Frontier. So we have 5 mammography in Rwanda. No, no, no. Anyone can go. Just they have to tell you about the risk that it's diagnosed, and it's like private is 57,000 in without mutual, but mutual it reduces. It's like around 5,000. Yes, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yes, yes. When you are referral, you go to the referral hospitals. The specialists write that. Then, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm. Don't every Rwandese has an access to the mammography. Yeah, doctor. If doctor prescribe it, barang. No, no. I don't know if doctor can refuse. It happened, so that is not a good practice. I think if someone, they have to understand about the prevention. So if someone needs to prevention, even the director at the hospital, the customer care, they need to knew about that. Even the RSOG, because we do mentorship in the different hospitals. So it's a right for someone to do screening, even to, oh yeah. Murakoze. Mm.
Thank you very much, Dr. Odile, for that very in-depth presentation. I think we all have some more insight on breast cancer and how to manage and search for it, right? So can we give her another round of applause? Thanks. So now we will have a Vierbarg representative. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. How do you pronounce it?
VBEG. It's pronounced VBEG. Madam Tse. All right. Anybody awake here? Raise your hand if you're awake. I know it's a little warm in here. You know, the talk that we just had from the doctor was very informative. I think it might have gone over some people's heads. So why don't we do this very quickly? Can everybody just stand up, please? Stand up for a second. In the back there, guys, stand up. Feel free. Raise your hands over your head. Put your hands down. Thank you very much. It's good to stretch a little bit, move. It's warm in here. Oh, I think I just hurt my ribs. So, my name is Alex Rosen. I am the CEO of VBEG Medical. We are a medical supply company here in Kigali. We've been here since 2018. And we focus on smart equipment. Anybody know what smart equipment is? Raise your hand if you know what smart equipment is. How many of you have a phone in your pocket? Wait, my man here, stand up. Hold on. What is your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy. Yeah. Tell me, what's smart equipment?
Huh? Phones, TVs, computers, projectors, literally everything.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Jeremy. So, in the medical terms, smart equipment is equipment that can essentially do its own diagnoses. The way we do diagnoses is through, normally, typically, you have a doctor. You have a piece of equipment like an ultrasound machine. It'll take a picture. The doctor will look at the picture and say, hey, this is what's going on. In the last 5 years or so, technology has rapidly grown to the point where we now can use AI to do diagnoses. And it's not perfect, by no means. However, most screening, most diagnoses can be done not with a human being, not with a doctor. And for those of us who live here in East Africa, we know, especially outside of Kigali, oftentimes you go to a health clinic, you go to a primary care facility, and they don't have a doctor there. They certainly don't have a doctor who can look at an ultrasound and say, hey, this is what's going on. You need further review. However, if you have smart equipment, it can do the analysis itself and say, hey, this is what it's seeing. Go see a doctor. Or it can say, everything's good. Is it the answer? No, but it's part of the answer. As we've heard multiple times here, the most critical aspect for breast cancer survival is early detection. After early detection, it's diagnosis and treatment. You cannot do diagnosis and treatment if you don't have the proper equipment. You don't have doctors. You don't have technical medical equipment. So it's critical that you have as much information as possible. And at VBEG, this is what we do. We work with maternity clinics. We work with hospitals. We work with outreach clinics. We operate in 5 different countries. We operate in Rwanda, Burundi, Eastern Congo, South Sudan, and Kenya. And we're moving into Central African Republic, where we build out clinics in rural areas. The more rural, the better, I like to say. And we provide them with smart equipment so that even if you are not living in Kigali, the doctor was just talking about where are the 5 mammography machines in Rwanda. They're all in Kigali, correct? There's not a single one in Bwayea. Makombo has none of them. So if you have breast cancer there, the likelihood of you being diagnosed properly is very, very small. But if you're here, it's great. What we try to do is those rural clinics, we provide them with the equipment so that at the very least, they can have the opportunity to connect with a doctor, a more advanced healthcare facility, so that you don't have to travel 3-4 hours, especially if you come from a very poor family and you don't have the money for that. Because as we know and we've all discussed, early detection is critical. And without early detection, the chances of survival go way down. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Very energetic. I think you got the energy back in the room, right? Are we feeling awake now? Are we feeling awake now? Okay, that's much better. Okay, so up next we have the testimony of our Pink Village ambassadors, and it will be given by Mrs. Speciosa. So if Mrs. Speciosa is present, please come give the testimony. Let's give her a round of applause.
Murakoze, nitwa Dusengimana Speciosa, nkaba ndi umukangurambaga kuri kanseri y'ibere mu karere ka Kirehe. Ariko ndi imbere yanyu nasabaga bagenzi banjye twazanye kugira ngo abo bari bahaguruke babapepere babasuhuze. Genda vuga ururimi rw'ikinyarwanda gusa, ariko bambwiye ko hari umuntu ufasha gusemura, nirwo rurimi numva mfite nshoboye kuvuga.
Hello, everyone. So our speaker right now will be speaking in Kinyarwanda while I translate for you in English. but bear with me because I'm not really used to translating.
rero ngira ngo bagenzi banjye bahagurutse babasuhuje.
So my colleagues have stood up and greeted you all.
Amavu n'amavuko rero
Not really sure.
y'umuryango wa BCI mu karere ka Kirehe ni Filipa. Nahaguruke abasuhuze.
Let Philippa stand up and greet you all.
Filipa tumenyana nawe hari mu mwaka w'ibihumbi 2021 mu kwezi kwa gatanu.
Philippa and I met each other in 2021 in the month of May.
Nibwo twabonanye nawe bwa mbere aza kuduha amahugurwa kuri BCI.
That was the first time we met, and she came to give us training at PCI.
Ako karere n'urukamo rero hagaragayemo abadamu mbere tutarabona ya mahugurwa nari maze kubona abagore babiri bishwe na kanseri y'ibere.
Before this training, I had met 2 women who had died from breast cancer.
Mu buzima busanzwe ndi umuhinzi ariko ndi umujyanama w'ubuzima.
In everyday life, I'm a farmer, but I'm also a health advisor.
Mu kagari ntuyemo ndi coordinatrice w'imidugudu 10 abajyanama 40.
In my district, I'm the coordinator of different health centers. Yeah.
Ku bwanjye kumenyana na Filipa byabaye umugisha yankomye kunda naramukwaga.
Meeting Philippa was a blessing for me.
Tugitangira ayo mahugurwa natangiye ndi umwe ndavunika ariko nza gusaba ko hari bagenzi banjye baturuka mu tugari dutandukanye nabo ngomba guhugura kugira ngo bamfashe kugira ngo dufashe abantu kwikunda no kwimenya no kwisuzumisha.
When we started the training, it was just me, and it was really a struggle, but we eventually started momentum.
Ikintu nabanje gusobanukirwaho cyambere kikamfasha reka nyibereke.
Let me show you the first thing that helped me in my journey.
Aka kantu nyimara gusobanukirwa yuko kiriya gishushanyo kitwereka ko ari umugore w'umunyafurika wikoreye ibibazo bitatu muri kiriya gitebo, kutamenya ubukene indwara.
This illustration showed me, an African woman, carrying 3 problems on her head: lack of knowledge,
kutamenya ubukene indwara nibyo biri muri kiriya gitebo.
those 3 problems are disease, lack of knowledge, and poverty.
Biriya bintu nabigereranije n'ahantu dutuye nsanga nicyo kibazo kitwugarije, ariko tukaba dufite siroga ivuga ngo ikunde imenye isuzumishe. Umugore wo mu cyaro kugira ngo yikunde yimenye yisuzumishe ntabwo bibaho.
We had a slogan that says, love yourself, know yourself, and get yourself screened. But where I came from, screening was not really that common or possible.
Bitagutungura ko umuntu ashobora kubyuka arimo kubabara mu mubiri, ababara umutwe cyangwa mu ngingo, agafata isuka akajya guhinga, mu kanya bakamukura mu murima bamutwara kwa muganga atakibasha kwihagurutsa.
It wasn't uncommon for someone to suffer from pain but continue working anyway until they weren't able to move at all.
Gutunguka imbere y'abo bantu rero ubigisha guhinduka no kwishakamo igisubizo mu gihe yarwaye afite mitiweli, ariko nge ntago najya kwa muganga ngo nirwe ntonze umurongo. Twebwe iwacu mu cyaro nta mafarumasi tugira twegereye kugira ngo bakwihutishirize serivisi.
So it's really a struggle to get such people to change their mindsets, to get themselves checked, and there aren't also that many pharmacies, so healthcare access is really hard.
Byabaye urugamba rurerure rero kugira ngo ufate umwanya utumize inteko y'abaturage. Je buriya ndi muri senefu, ndi umwanditsi muri senefu mu nama y'igihugu y'abagore. Ni ukuvuga ngo dukorana n'ubuyobozi rero. Niba ndi umujyanama w'ubuzima ministeri kabinzi, nkaba ndi umuyobozi mu rwego k'akagari umuyobozi akabanzi, kumubwira ngo tumize inama y'abaturage tuganire ku buzima byamunanira.
So I also work as a health advisor at the cell level. So how hard could it be to get the leadership to organize a meeting with all the people?
Ndababwiza ukuri abantu bamaze kumva ikiganiro tumaze gutanga iwacu ni mu tugari dutanu tumaze guhuguramo bitewe ni imbaraga nkeya. Ubwo kuvuga imbaraga nkeya murumva ubushobozi. Hari aho tudashobora kugera kubera iki? kubona uburyo wakideplasa mu rugendo. Tumaze guhugura abantu ibihumbi 12, ibihumbi 11,216. Harimo igitsina gore ibihumbi 616, igitsina gabo ibihumbi 5,200.
So far we've given training and these learning opportunities to 11,000, over 11,000 people. Out of those, over 5,000 were men and over 6,000 of them were women.
Buriya iyi genda yanjye mubona iyi ngiyi. Iyo ngiye nandi ku mubare w'abantu bahuguwe umunsi ibiganiro bawe n'uburyo babiteza amatwi.
In this agenda of mine, I take note of the number of people we've had and what they've been trained on.
Mfite imfashanyigisho ahangaha harimo izo Filipa yampaye ndabahereza bagasoma, harimo nanjye zanjye soma. Ubu maze kumenya ngo kanseri ni iki. Icyo ni ikintu nzi mu mutwe wanjye n'ubwo waba unkanguye uburyo umuntu ashobora kwisuzuma.
I carry resources here with me that talk about breast cancer and what it is, and by now I know by heart what breast cancer is, and I take these resources with me to help others during training.
Uburyo umuntu wese yaba umugore yaba umugabo yakisuzuma kugira ngo asobanukirwe niba afite ibimenyetso.
And I'm also very aware of how a person can go get themselves checked to see if they have any symptoms.
Ndi imbere yanyu ahangaha n'iriya timu yanjye twazanye n'abantu bagaragaye ibimenyetso bisuzumye 12. Barimo kubonana n'abaganga hariya. Kubera imbaraga zivuye kuri Filipa bashatse imodoka kuva Ikirere kugira hano ntago ari ibintu byoroshye. Babyutse saa 9 n'igice buri imodoka bageze ahangaha saa 3.
My team and I came here with about 12 people who are suffering from symptoms, and they're currently getting help from the team that came with them here today.
Mu magambo makeya, kanseri iwacu tumaze gusobanukirwa ububi bwayo, kuko abenshi mu bo turi kumwe harimo ababuze abantu babo mu miryango. Ariko iyo magurutse nkaza nk'uko twari turi kumwe n'ahari abaganga n'ubu nibongera guhugura abo bantu mbere y'uko basuzuma, nanjye akanjye nagiye ngatoramo ubu nakabitse ndaje nzakamanukana Kirehe.
In short, we now have better awareness of what breast cancer is in our area, and even today when the team arrived, there were still specialists up there helping to increase awareness.
Uru rugendo rwacu ni rurerure kandi turacyakomeje tubasaba n'inkunga y'amasengesho.
The journey is long, but we ask for your prayers as we continue to move forward.
Shimira by'umwihariko nyakubahwa Filipa na timu bafatanije.
I'd especially like to thank Ms. Philippa and her team.
Ariko kandi mfite n'ibyifuzo munyemerere nabitambutse.
But I also have some requests I'd like to make if you'd let me.
Ubushobozi bwo kugira abantu ku bantu kugira ngo tubahugure biratugora.
The means to get people the help they need is really hard to get.
Iki gikorwa twifuza ko cyakwira mu karere kacu ka Kirehe kose, byahereye mu kagari kamwe ka Rwanonde, ariko twifuza ko mu tugari twose tugize umurenge wacu wa Gatore aya mahugurwa bayibona kuko baranayashaka.
We really hope this training and education can be spread to all other parts, especially our district of Kirehe, so that we can have more people with increased awareness.
Aya mahugurwa,
these trainings,
aho twayatanze ntabwo turabona ubushobozi bwo kujya gukora evaluation.
Where we've given them so far, we haven't had the chance to go make evaluations of the places we've gone to so far.
Abo barwayi babonetse aba bantu bagaragaye ibimenyetso babonetse ni igihe nagendaga nkasiga nomero za telefone mu duce bari abavolontiers batuyemo, noneho umuntu akaza akamubwira ati je niyumvisemo ikimenyetso kimeze gutya nakivuza bimeze gute.
The people that we've been able to find so far, we found them because I left a number with the volunteers in the areas, and they were able to notify me whenever somebody complained about symptoms.
Aya mahugurwa twatanze ku bigo 5 by'amashuri.
We also gave these trainings to 5 different schools.
Tuyatanga mu tugari 5 inshuro 10 akagari twagiye tujyamo 2.
And we went 10 times to those 5 different cells.
Abo bantu nabone abantu bagiye hano kugira ngo batege ikiganiro amatwi kimwe biragoye. Niba harabonetse abo bantu tutari muri evaluation, turamutse tugiye gukora evaluation twabona abantu banganiki.
If we found these people even without going through an evaluation, imagine how many people we could find if we could do a proper evaluation.
reka rero nsoreze kuri aka kaganiro kandi mbashimira.
Allow me to end here and thank you all for listening.
Urushishi muraruzi?
You know an ant?
Abantu baruzi batera agatoki hejuru.
Raise your hand if you know what an ant.
Inzovu bamwe tuyibona ku gishushanyo.
We sometimes see elephants in illustrations.
Ariko hari abantu bayibonye amaso ku maso.
But there are people who have seen them in real life.
Batera agatoki turebe.
Raise your hand if you've seen an elephant in real life.
Urushishi rwafashe ku mutonzi w'inzovu, ku mutonzi.
An ant touched the trunk of an elephant.
Inzovu itambuka ikiraro kira kiraro ibiraro nimba mubizi biriya but iteme.
And the elephant crossed the bridge, I think.
Noneho uko ikiraro kigenda kitigita kivuga cyane.
And as the elephant was crossing the bridge,
Kubera umurindi w'inzovu,
because of its largeness,
urushishi ruravuga ruti,
the ant said,
Jyewe n'inzovu tunyeganyeje ikiraro.
me and the elephant are shaking this bridge.
Ikintu ushatse kuvuga nuko imbaraga zacu, imbaraga zanyu, nagumye numva nubwo nazi icyongereza partner sinzi ko ari umufatanyabikorwa ufasha abantu no kubona ubushobozi.
What that meant is that our collective effort makes a
Mpamya ko
difference.
rero twebwe nawe iwacu mu cyaro nta mugore uzongera kuzira kanseri y'ibere kubera imbaraga zanyu.
I strongly believe that because of our efforts, no one will suffer from breast cancer again. No one's life will be claimed by breast cancer again.
Banyakubahwa abafatanyabikorwa ba BCI, soje nsaba imbaraga kugira ngo dufashe bagenzi bacu hatazagira umuntu wongera kuzira kanseri y'ibere kandi twarahawe amahugurwa na Filipa. Murakoze murakaramba.
I end here by asking for your support in continuing these efforts, and thank you all for your support so far.
Thank you so much to Mrs. Speciosa and Kenny for that. That testimony was really powerful, and I hope we all resonated with it and really took it in. So next we will have an introduction of the Erosa chatbot by Mr. Kenny. So can we please give Mr. Kenny a round of applause?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm very happy to see you here. You should give yourself a round of applause. So I'm Kenny. I'm from BCIA, and I'm here to introduce to you to someone very special. She's called Erosa. Erosa is our AI-powered chatbot. It lives in WhatsApp. You can access her through WhatsApp, and it answers every question about breast cancer. Whether you want to learn how to do your breast self-exam, whether you want to learn about the symptoms, everything she can answer. So, and it is very simple to connect to her. I think all of you have your mobile devices, smartphones. You can just screen the QR code and you'll be able to access to her instantly. So I'm not taking a lot of time of yours, but what I want to say is, you know, a lot of people have fear to ask questions about breast cancer, or maybe out of embarrassment or lack of access to professional experts. So Erosa comes here to bridge that gap. Now you can ask whatever the private question that you have through your phone. You just scan this QR code and it leads you to WhatsApp to Erosa. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kenny. The QR code is right here, so if you all want to scan that, feel free. So now we will have the leader of this whole event, Auntie Pink or Mrs. Filipa coming back on stage. So can we give her a really nice round of applause as she comes up here? Sorry? It's you right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much, all the presenters. This has been a very uplifting event because we didn't have our walk, but we managed to sustain ourselves and smile and hug and take pictures because life goes on and we do not give up, right? We don't give up, guys. Something happens and you adopt. Is it adopt or adapt? Adapt. I have been speaking English for all my life, but when a language is not your mother tongue, you are likely to make a mistake. So I'm not adopting you or adopting her. I'm adapting to the changes so I can forge ahead. So this is your friend, everybody's friend, Erosa. We have people in our communities or in a nation who have issues but cannot talk about them because of cultural mores or because of fear and stigma. Yeah. So he talked about smart, what? Smart equipment, smart minds, smart phones, smart whatever, everything. Now, my beef with breast cancer is when it comes, you don't know whether you're going to live or die. And sometimes it's because of where you live. Think about it. My sister lived in Rwanda. She had breast cancer. She didn't even know what she had. And she died. I live in the US. I knew most of the signs and symptoms and whatever. I had everything that we are actually talking about here. I had state-of-the-art medical facilities. I survived. Young people, should you die or live because of where you live? I want a big yes or no. Geography should never, and I cried when Speciosa said she does not want anybody in her community to die of breast cancer. She's challenging each one of you. What is it that you can do to make sure that this cancer is found or detected early? Because we don't know what causes this disease. We don't know, we don't have a cure. I have been doing this for 17 years in Rwanda, but more in the US. So much research has happened, but we cannot tell people what causes breast cancer. Sometimes I wonder, is it because it's mainly a female disease? I'll leave that to people who are thinkers and are in the field. Or we still have to get on this fight on a daily basis. So, but evidence or science has found that early detection saves lives. That's why I have met Fairberg. And I am partnering with RBC. Oh, she left. OBGYS. And, whatever. Rwanda Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. You know what? Not only that, I am partnering with all the young minds, because smart devices and everything else is not going to come from us old people. It's going to come from you. 70% of Rwanda population. So when you're thinking about this, when you're listening to me, listening to Speciosa, talking about an ant and an elephant, which are you going to be? Everyone. Yes. So, this is not a joke, and probably the reason we didn't walk was so we spend more time thinking, because the smart mind is going to find the solutions of the problems we have. Let me tell you something that actually surprised me this morning. Would you have this, please? I went to the Weberg table, and Olivier said, Philippa, we have an ultrasound that if we empower it with AI, and I said, what is it? Because I'm used to ultrasounds big, you know, and he held something, let me borrow this. It's as big as this. And guess what? The person holding this ultrasound doesn't have to be a doctor, but can be trained on how to use it around the breast or any other organ. And then this is going to be reported on a laptop or a smartphone. And then in real time, it can be sent. So, take the message. And it can be sent. You get the message, then you send it to the biopsy in real time also, then pathology. And instead of Miss Speciosa waiting for 6 weeks or 3 months, she can wait, she can get the information right away. And we are so blessed with this country. We now have Kanombe Cancer Center, Rwanda Cancer Center, we have Butaro, we have all the other facilities that we have that are going to speed up so that we save our people. So, what can I do as a youth, as an adult here? Your voice matters. I'm just one anti-pink. This month, I was so elated, so excited. One major company in Rwanda had a pink day, and everybody wore pink. I didn't visit there, but I said, they're getting it. A representative from the embassies that are here organized a walk, and there were so many people. I got so many calls, please come and present, but we are small, we can't do it, we can't go everywhere. But you know what? The fire has been fanned, and we are going to see major fires. But it's all going to come from the fire or the voice that is going to be presented by any of you. Yesterday, I was attending National Breast Cancer Symposium. Guys, I've been in Rwanda since 2007. This was the first one, hosted by the government, RBC. And they presented the most highly specialized people talking about nothing else but breast cancer. I'm so sorry she's not here, the one who was saying it's number one. Sometimes breast cancer is number one, sometimes it's number two. How come a disease that is so prevalent in a country is not given the priority? She brought, Speciosa brought 12 people with obvious cancer. We are giving them to RBC, they're going to check them. And he just whispered to me, he says, Philippa, if we find these confirmed cases, we are going to go to biopsy. And I'm just saying, it's good we didn't walk. I'm getting this because if these 12 people can get the care that they need, it's worth not having a walk, but listening to somebody who is going to take this information. Can you imagine saving 12 lives in spite of not going on a walk? My cup overflows today, and I don't want to get emotional about this. So, like I say, your voice, you see something that is wrong, talk about it. And pretty soon, I'm going to be asking you guys, whoever is, we walk to Parliament, we lobby, and we say, we need more policies and more funding for this disease that's killing our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, and we found a child. We don't know, we haven't confirmed, 12 years old with signs. I'm saying we don't know because there are some other things that can happen and look like cancer and are not. So, what is it that I can say? Your voice matters. Your voice has to be heard because there are people who are voiceless and who, if you give them $10 to go and get screened, instead of going, they will use that $10 to buy food, not realizing the importance of screening. So I can go on, I can talk until the sun sets, but all I'm saying is we are going to repeat the 3 words of our slogan. You take them home, share. And I want to promise you, next year, it's probably going to have a different look, but our work is going to be on. Okay? So let's go. Ikunde. Ikunde. Imenye. Isuzumishe. Love yourself. Know yourself. Get checked. And if you scan on this, you're going to meet a very special friend. Rosa speaks English. She speaks French. She speaks the prevalent language here, Kinyarwanda. Now, don't go on her and ask her things about gaming and whatever. She will say, my focus is what? Breast cancer. And if she doesn't know, she will say, oh, I'll find out for you, come back later. And you don't have to fear or be scared. You can just put her in front of you and talk to her, and she will answer all your questions. Anybody with the questions, you may speak now or forget. Thank you. Do you want me to recognize people now or just wait?
Yes, please.
Okay. He reminded me, and this is very important. You see the lady who is dressed like me, Speciosa? She's really an incredible advocate. And because of that, we want to recognize her in front of you. And I wish I could put her on TV, Rwanda TV, and everybody sees her. It is that ant on the mouth of the elephant. And she's shaking the environment she lives in because of her work. She's so dedicated, she does so well, she does so much. And her certificate hasn't come, but I promise you, I'll put her receiving it from me on social media until you get tired of it. Speciosa, can you come, please? This is the jewel. This is the woman who is shaking Kirehe and who is making a difference in the true sense of the word. And then, Barihano, I want you to know that she also has trained a team. Can we have the team, please? Bahamagari.
Abavolunteers banjye ntabwo muri kumva nubwo icyongereza cyacu ntacyo ra.
Nimuze. Certificate yanyu iraza ntabwo bayizanye ariko tuzabyerekana. So I'm going in that on I'm going to ask them to just say their name at least, you know. Muvuge izina ryanyu.
So kankoresha ikinyarwanda amazina ni Uwihanganye Felicien ndi umujyanama w'ubuzima nkaba mpagarariye akagari nturuka mu ka Rwabutazi nkaba ndi umuyufu volunteers umukangurambaga bw'ibere murakoze.
Thank you. My name is Joseph Atiekimana. I'm children for Speciosa to sing mana. I'm able to do training people training people in order to know knowledge in the breast cancer. Thank you.
Ndakoresha ikinyarwanda nitwa Hitayezu Jean Marie nkaba naturutse mu karere ka Kirehe nkaba ndi umukangurambaga kuri kanseri y'ibere murakoze.
My name is Donata Yambogoreye. I'm coming from Kirehe. I'm youth volunteers with breast cancer. Thank you.
Murakoze. Nitwa Goreti Nzabandora, naturutse mu karere ka Kirehe, ndi umuvolunteers kuri kanseri y'ibere murakoze.
So these are the stars, and who knows what next year is going to bring. Maybe we will double, and maybe we practice something called awareness without borders. Once you know, you don't stay within your own environment because good news has to be shared. So these are, she has already told me, she says, Auntie, girango, no hirya tuzagerayo. So murakoze, thank you very much for accepting them and welcoming them. Murakoze.
Thank you very much. Can we give all these people a round of applause again? Okay, I know we're getting tired. I can hear it in the claps and I can see everybody's faces. But don't worry, we're getting to the end. So this is the last slap. Okay, if you feel like you need to take a walk, you can walk around this room. But just 1 minute. So right now we're going to have Chubahiro Caleb, a capacity building. He's the capacity builder of BCIEA and a medical student, and he's going to talk to you guys for just a few minutes. So can you please welcome me in welcoming Chubahiro Caleb. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hi everyone. Hi. Are you okay? Battery saving mode? Anybody? Battery saving mode. Is your body on battery saving mode? Or is it on food saving mode? Starvation. Okay. So my name is Chubahiro Caleb. I'm a medical student and also the capacity building for breast cancer initiative for East Africa. So first and foremost, I want to thank everyone here for joining us today in this event. Just joining is one thing. Actually taking a message from this place is another thing. When you come here and just sit, that's you participating. But you implementing what we said here is you taking action, you saving lives, you actually impacting the community. So here in BCIA, we believe that the youth are the future, is the future for tomorrow. We don't believe it by just saying it, we believe it by implementing it. The reason our parents and the older generation fear breast cancer, fear these diseases is one, they never understood it. That's the thing. You can never understand, you can never fear something you know. Do you understand that? Are you with me? I like people who are active. Huh? This is the last session. Like, there's something called a turkey kick. However, eat turkey. Do you eat turkey? Do you eat turkey? Do you eat chicken? When the chicken is about to die, it gives out its last kick. Its last run for its life. So this is the end. Like, put all your energy in this. I like people who are motivated. So, I was saying, the youth, we need to work together in this. I want to repeat it, we need to work together in this. We have so many programs for you. We have these Pink Youth Ambassadors. The Pink Youth Ambassadors, they're going to be going out in the villages, they're going to be going out to the fellow youth, teaching them about breast cancer. If I know about breast cancer, and I teach you about breast cancer, and then you teach about another person about breast cancer, what's going to happen at the end of the day? All of us are going to know what breast cancer is, and we're going to help out even our parents. And then we are very lucky to have our seniors together, some senior doctors, and also some senior community members, like Speciosa here, from the Peak Village Ambassadors. Me talking to you about health and health matters, you're going to say, that's a kid. He's from the 2K something. He doesn't know anything. I told people I was a medical student. I was like, are you a medical student? Or you're an IT or some event planner? So yeah, I'm a medical student. So we need to work together with the elder generation because they have the trust of the community. We have the creative mind, we have the innovations, but they have the trust of the community. They have the trust of the government. So that's why we need to work together. And the last thing I want to emphasize on, yes, maybe you're not in health, maybe you're in tech, maybe you're in agriculture, maybe you're in business. All of those, at the end of the day, they are part of life. Do not spend your whole life searching for a simple degree just to end your life in a job. Do you know how many people have that same degree that you have? Or that degree that you're chasing? Do you know how many of them? You're still in secondary, so maybe I'm speaking big here. But just understand, people want to become doctors, people want to become engineers, people want to become lawyers, people want to become businessmen. But let me tell you, we already have those. What are you bringing to the market that's very specific to you? What are you bringing to the table that's going to say, I want to be a doctor like Dr. Caleb. I want to be an engineer like somebody. It's what you start today. Bridging gaps. Because at the end of the day, if I want to open a hospital, I'm not going to hire doctors only. I'm going to need an accountant. I'm going to need a manager. A creative artist to do the designs. I'm going to need a nurse. So we need to do work together in this holistic approach. Get together, get to know people who are in different careers, get engaged in different careers, because at the end of the day, that's when you're going to grow. And when the community grows, when you grow, the community grows. When the community grows, Rwanda grows, because it's our country. Some international students here, you're going to grow your own country, yes. So let's all bear together. We're coming to the close of the event, but this is not the end of our agenda. The agenda continues. The agenda is one: saving lives, impacting communities, and helping out the communities. What's left now is implementing what we talked about today. We talked big, we promised big, we said some big words. Now it's time to implement them. So let's end this session happily, and then we'll meet together in the implementation plan. Thank you very much. They said something very important, maybe to increase the claps. There is food. Hey, no claps, no food then. Sorry, no food. If you clap, there's food. If you don't clap, there's no food.
Step by step, we raised our voices. For women battling breast cancer, for mothers, sisters, and daughters, and the survivors who inspire us all. From that very first walk, thousands have joined. We've walked through city streets, through remote villages, through challenges, and yet we've kept going together. Unfortunately, the world paused for COVID-19, and the Marburg virus kept us inside last year. But even in silence, our mission, our care never did. Because Ulinzi is more than a walk. It's a promise to fight with love, to bring awareness, early detection, education, and hope to every corner of Rwanda. This year, we walk again. We invite you, your family, your friends, your neighbors to join us. Walk with purpose. Walk in memory. Walk in hope. Together, let's fill the streets with pink, with unity, with strength, and with joy. In 2012, something powerful began in Rwanda. A simple step turned into a movement, a walk for hope, a walk for life, a walk we proudly named Ulinzi. Step by step, we raised our voices. For women battling breast cancer, for mothers, sisters, and daughters, and the survivors who inspire us all. From that very first walk, thousands have joined. We've walked through city streets